Hi Virgo, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot readings from the heart. So we're going to do your week ahead reading. This is the 9th to the 15th of September 2019, and I'm appearing on the screen for the first half of the reading. Then we're going to hone down the camera and have a look at the other spreads. Okay, so we're looking at your work and also your love life expressly on this reading. Okay, also everything is timestamped below, so if you just want to have a look at work, you can just go and click into that timestamp. If you just want to have a look at love, just click into that timestamp, and it's all in the comments section. Okay, let's get started shuffling. Okay, Virgo, so we've shuffled the deck and we're going to have a look now at who you are during the week, Virgo. So you are showing up, Virgo, as being the Page of Coins. I like this version of the Page of Coins. I think it's rather nice. It shows a young person looking at a pentacle. So for me, the Page of Coins can be anything from a craftsman, a young craftsman, to a designer, somebody who works within the financial field. This is all about, there's several things with the Page of Coins. Number one, it's about responsibility, and it's about learning responsibility. This is all about learning a lesson. So some of you guys are showing us the page because you're showing us some form of youthful energy, Virgo, okay, with the Page of Coins. Some of you guys are learning something very practical. You might be even learning a skill this week with the Page of Pentacles energy showing here, because it's a young energy. And with the Page of Coins as a young energy, what you're learning, because he's a student, you're learning something very, very practical, or you're learning a very kind of practical message or a lesson that's really vital for your growth and expansion as a human being. It doesn't matter what age you are, Virgo, you're showing us the Page of Coins. So you're showing us being quite, how can I say, quite possibly naive in a way with this Page of Coins energy, because you're a page and pages are children. And if you're showing us being a Page of Coins, then you're learning some form of responsibility this week. Okay, you're learning something this week, something quite practical, something that's going to allow you to kind of expand and grow as an individual in a very kind of practical way going forward. The other thing with the Page of Coins, though, it shows skepticism as well. So this can show someone who's being overly cautious or very wary. And it might be some of you guys are showing that. But the way that this guy looks at the coin, it's almost like you're looking at this coin. You're looking at something of value, or you're looking at something and you're questioning whether this thing can be of value or not. With the Page of Coins, this is also a card that indicates physical attraction. So you can see on this card, this page is looking across at the coin as if it's a, you know, it's a prize, it's an item of value, it's a beautiful necklace, or it's a beautiful ring, but he's very inquisitive as well. Can you see what he's doing, how his head is on his hands? And as you guys know, I read visually as well. So he's looking on at the coin, it's in his hand, he's almost looking at it and saying, okay, what can I do with this? So I feel that some of you guys have something this week. You have an item that is quite valuable, or there's a physical item some of you guys have this week, or there's a situation that will require your focus, what will require your attention, Virgo, with this Page of Coins energy. And it will require you to really dedicate your time to trying to work out or find out whether what it is that you're holding on to is of value, what you need to do with it, what is the benefit of this thing that you have. So really, this is a week at looking at what the benefits are of what you have. If you look at what he's doing here, he's looking at this pentacle. It almost feels like it's the first time that he's looking at it as well. And it is, because he's just been past the pentacle. So he's not very clued up on what he needs to do with it. So Virgo, it almost feels like that this week, this is all about kind of looking at something through fresh eyes and looking at what the benefits of that thing might be for you and how it's going to help aid and kind of benefit you going forward. It's an interesting card, and the way that he's drawn it is very different to how I've seen any of the other pages. This doesn't actually remind me of cautiousness. It just doesn't remind me of you guys being cautious, Virgo. It just kind of reminds me of inquisitiveness rather than cautiousness, because he's looking down at that coin, he's saying, this looks really interesting. So I think that there's something in the physical that's kind of very new to you this week, and I do see that you guys this week will be very inquisitive. It's not even about being responsible, it's more about just saying, what can I do with this thing? And it's a physical thing, so whether it's a person, or whether it's, you know, a job, or whether it's money, whatever it is, there's an item that you're holding this week, I think, and it's a physical thing as well. And some of you guys, I can see you kind of looking and saying, I need to find out what the benefit of this is this week. We're going to kind of get on, look at that a little bit more in a little while. But the theme of the week is the Magician, yeah. So the Magician is all about creation, creativity. It's all about holding that power in your hands. It's about having the resources and the skills and the abilities to start creating something new. Start creating. So what the Magician tends to do is he takes from the non-physical and he creates it into the physical. So it's an idea, for example, with the Magician energy. He's got the Ace of Swords on his desk usually. And what he does with the Ace of Swords is he says, okay, this is my idea, because the Ace of Swords represents the idea. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this idea into the physical. So I'm going to bring it into physical form. So I actually feel that, you have the theme of the week being the Magician, which actually Virgo is going to be you, because the Magician is ruled by Gemini and also Virgo energy. So this is actually you on the card, okay, because he is ruled by Virgo as well as Gemini. This is definitely you. The theme of the week is that you have the power, you have the resources to start creating something new. But I get the impression that actually this is, I don't think it's skepticism, but I certainly do feel now that this is a little bit of cautiousness on your part. The new thing that you have within your hand is the Pentacle from the Magician. So it's not the Ace of Swords, it's not the Ace of Wands, and it's not the Ace of Cups, it's the Ace of Coins, because you're actually holding that coin there in your hand. So you've taken the coin from the Magician's table, your own table, and you've looked at this resource. You have a resource this week, some of you guys, and you're saying, what can I do with this resource? How can I, because that's what the Page of Coins does. So for some of you guys, it might be a business venture, because that's what the Page of Coins is. He looks at the coin is the catalyst for the venture, and he says, right, I've got this coin in my hand, I've got this money, or I've got this kind of resource, or this object, or this material thing. What can I do with this? How can I build it? How can I make it more? How can I make it greater? And that's the whole point of the Page of Coins. It's about taking what you have, taking something small and making it bigger. The same as the Magician. Taking all of these small components of the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups and making them into something much larger, manifesting them into the physical world and seeing what you can do to expand them and to make them into something that is beneficial for you going forward. So, this is really interesting that you guys are showing us the Page of Coins, and now I get it why you're the Page of Coins. Because the theme of the week is all about creating, using your resources to create something new into your world, Virgo. But I do feel that you guys showing us the Page of Coins, I don't think that you're skeptical about it, but I think that there might be a little bit of confusion on how you're going to do it, because he looks very confused, this Page of Coins does. He looks like he's trying to work out, okay, so I've got this, right, what do I do with it now? Can you see his body language? Everything is kind of hunched together into one. I see that you have the resources this week to create something new, Virgo, but I feel that you don't quite know how you're going to build it or how you're going to do it. What is your goal for the week, Virgo? Your goal, Virgo, is the Two of Coins. So the Two of Coins is all about balancing two different things, juggling two different things together. And again, we've got this theme of pentacles going. We've got a pentacle in the Magician, we've got a pentacle with the Page of Coins, and now we've got the Two of Coins energy. Your goal for the week might be, well, I've got this pentacle, I've got this resource here, and I don't really know how to use it or what I'm going to do with it or how I'm going to build it further. So it might be that the goal for the week is really just to juggle between two ideas, maybe. I mean, the Two of Pentacles isn't really two ideas, but it is weighing things up. That's what the Two of Coins is. And I think that more than anything with the Two of Coins, because you're not showing us having two things here, you've only got the one pentacle. So it wouldn't make any sense for me to then say to you, Virgo, well, the goal for the week is just to juggle the two things. Because it's not showing that you've got a couple of things on this coin. You've got one thing, one resource, and I think that some of you guys, this won't resonate with all of you because it is a general reading, but I do think that some of you guys are trying to work out, how do I use this particular resource that I have to create a business or to create something better or to do whatever it is that you want to do. Well, my goal will be just to kind of weigh things up this week. What is it that's going to work better? Because I think that really what's coming with this is that you have a multitude of ideas on how you're going to take a particular resource, Virgo, and actually enhance it and create, mold it and shape it into what you want to shape it into, so it becomes something that benefits you in the future. but you don't really know what you're doing with the Page of Coins energy, which is why you're looking so intently at the resource. And I feel that with this Two of Coins, Virgo, your goal is just to kind of take the week, maybe just to weigh up, well, what idea would work better? I need to weigh this up, you know. Do I do it this way or do I do it that way? You know, it's that type of thing with the Two of Coins energy showing there. So I think that really with this Two of Coins, when I think about it, it's all about giving yourself a little bit of a leeway and a little bit of space just to weigh up exactly what it is that you're going to be doing going forward with this particular resource. And the obstacle you need to overcome is the Ace of Wands, though, which is an interesting card that you need to overcome, because the Ace of Wands is the spark and it's the idea. It's the new idea. I feel that it's an interesting one because you've got so many cards that indicate new beginnings in this reading. You've got the Page of Coins, the Magician energy, and now the Ace of Wands. But this is the obstacle that needs to be overcome. Now, how do we work out the obstacle with an Ace of Wands? How is the Ace of Wands an obstacle that needs to be overcome? Because it might be with the Ace of Wands, because the Ace of Wands is the bright spark. The Ace of Wands is the idea. The Ace of Wands is that moment of genius, that kind of enlightenment moment that you have, you know, that kind of light bulb moment that goes on when you're like, oh, yeah, I could do it like that, for example. I don't know, this feels to me like something that might be fixed because it's the Ace of Wands and this is the idea, this is the spark. And because I feel that this week it's about you guys having some form of a resource with this Page of Coins that you don't really know what to do with it. You know that you want to use it for something, but you don't really know what you're going to use it for, because the theme of the week is all about creating some form of a reality, taking what you have and bringing it into physical form in order to build a life that is more beneficial to you. But your goal for the week is to weigh things up. What direction do I go in? How do I use this resource? Is one thing better than the other? You need to avoid the Ace. I think that this is rushing. With the Ace of Wands, I think that this is rushing because the wand, when I kind of just looked around the cards and I just felt that actually there was a lot of slow movement in this reading. It just felt like the movement was very slow, and then ping, we've got this Ace of Wands, which means bow, just putting it out there, just doing it, just, you know, rushing into it. And that's what the wand cards are. They're all about just rushing into things and doing things really, really fast. You know, and not taking your time. So I think that you need to kind of but then again, it's not avoidance, it's the obstacle. So I need to reread this again. You need to overcome the obstacle of the Ace of Wands energy. And force. Force. Another word for the obstacle for an Ace of Wands is all about the force. So it might be that you're being forced to do something here. I actually think that that's what it is. The obstacle is that you're being forced probably to make a decision on what you're going to do with that pentacle, with that resource that you have. You might be being forced with the Ace of Wands, because the other word for the Ace of Wands is force. And even though I don't see any negative cards around the Ace of Wands, it doesn't really, there's nothing negatively aspecting this, but it does feel that with all the slowness and the fact that you look like you're the Page of Coins and you're kind of just taking your time and think, what can I do with this resource? And your goal is, you know what, I'm just going to try and, you know, manage this. By the end of the week, the goal will be, you know, my goal by the end of the week will be to try and work out a way that I can, you know, develop whatever this coin is, or I can try and manage, you know, this resource here, because this is management as well with the Two of Coins, or I can finally weigh up the pros and cons of, you know, the way that I need to be handling this resource that I have within my hands. It just feels like suddenly, bam, we've got that Ace of Wands, and it feels like the obstacle is that you guys are being forced to make a decision on how you deal with the resource that you have quicker than you would like. I think that this is somebody else, and I think that you need to overcome the obstacle that either somebody is forcing you to make a decision before you're ready, Virgo, or you're forcing yourself, one of the two, with the Ace of Wands energy. What it could be you be accomplishing by the end of the week. The Five of Wands, being able to stand your ground with the Five of Wands energy. I don't think this is working with others. I think that this is more about standing your ground, because I do feel that somebody's forcing you, probably Virgo, to make a decision before you're ready with the Ace of Wands. I think somebody's really being quite forceful. There's a lot of strong masculine energy in this Ace of Wands, and it's a very forceful energy, very pushy energy. You need to overcome the obstacle that somebody's being very pushy with you with the Ace of Wands energy. They're trying to force you to make a decision on what you do with a resource before you're ready. Okay, but by the end of the week, what you could be achieving is that you stand your ground and you say, actually, with this Five of Wands, actually, I'm not going to be forced into making a decision before I'm ready to do it. And that's what I think's going on here. I think somebody's trying, because we've got these wand energies here. Suddenly we have the soft passiveness of the coins, and then suddenly we've got, bam, that Ace of Wands that just shows up in your obstacle that you need to overcome area. Let's have a quick look at what you need to avoid this week. The Two of Coins, it shows up again. You've got the Two of Coins as being your goal, but the avoidance needs to be the Two of Coins. Okay. So I think that, you know, you need to avoid... See, the thing is, it's a tricky one, because if we say that this Two of Coins is all about your goal being to have that time to weigh up the pros and cons of what you do with this coin, this pentacle that you have in your hand, Virgo, because you need to overcome the obstacle of being forced into doing something you don't want to do, that you're not ready to do, and you stand your ground by the end of the week. You know, your goal is, I need the time. Two of Coins is the time just to deliberate and weigh things up, because there is nowhere in this reading that I can see you're juggling multiple things. Even though the Magician is the juggler, I don't really see him as the juggler. I see him having resources, I see him having skills, and I see him having the ability to use every single one of his skills and talents and his abilities. And he can juggle everything all at once, but really for me, the Magician, with all of those different elements, we bring them all together. You know, it works kind of very much in one. So I don't really see the Magician as the juggler. I've never really seen him as that particular type of card. So I don't really see anywhere in the reading, Virgo, where juggling is taking place. It almost feels like your goal is to weigh the thing up by the end of the week and to come to some form of a balanced decision with the Two of Coins energy. But you need to avoid the Two of Coins. It almost feels like going round in circles, doesn't it? It's the number 8 here. So it almost feels like with this number 8 kind of, I can't do it on here, I can't see how to do it, but kind of going round in circles type of thing with the Two of Coins. Or maybe you need to avoid weighing up this for too long or something like that. Because I don't think that you're juggling something. I think you're trying to work out what to do with something. What do you need to embrace? The Star. Okay. I think what you need to embrace, number one, you can embrace guidance. Okay. And I think this is more than likely it. You need to embrace that there is guidance out there with the Star energy showing up here. And I also feel that with the water pouring out of the jugs into the stream, it almost feels to me that you need to embrace the concept of just letting go and going with the flow with the Star energy. It almost feels like you just need to go with the flow with the Star, because this isn't a case of you achieving anything. This isn't a case of you kind of, you know, putting yourself out there, because we don't really know what you're doing. We just know that you have a resource here and you don't really know what to do with it. That's you for the week, because you're showing us the Page of Coins with the coin in your hands. You're young. If you were the king, you'd know what to do with that pentacle. But as this page, you're like, okay, I've got this resource. What do I do with it? How do I make it work? Maybe it's money. I've got a bit of money. Do I put it into this business because I want to create something new? The Magician energy. I want to run my own business. I want to use the skills and the talents I have to create that. And the Two of Coins, the goal is to weigh things up by the end of the week, but you need to overcome the obstacle of the Ace of Wands, maybe be feeling forced into doing something. You stand your ground with the Five of Wands by the end of the week, but you still need to avoid kind of being too procrastinating a little bit too much maybe, and spending time trying to work out the finer details with the Two of Coins energy. You need to embrace the Star. I think that you also need to embrace with the Star that you're quite vulnerable to this as well, because stars, when they've got naked people on them, they mean vulnerability. And I think with you being the Page of Coins, where you've just got that coin, where you've just got this resource, you know, this object, whatever it is that you're holding here, Virgo, where you've just got this thing and you're like, I don't really know what to do with this. It looks valuable, but I really just don't know how to handle it. I don't know what to do with it. I think that kind of, you know, if you need to overcome the obstacle of the Ace of Wands, if this is you, then this is you forcing yourself to do something now. I think that you need to kind of embrace, Virgo, that you are still learning. You're at that vulnerable stage with the Star energy where you're still learning your craft, or you're still learning how to handle a particular thing that's come to you, you know. So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't feel that you need to force yourself. With the Ace of Wands energy showing here, you know. If this is you forcing yourself, don't feel the need that you need to do that, because you need to embrace that you are quite vulnerable. Okay, you're just a baby out of the womb, and you're just still learning with that, with the Page of Coins energy showing here as well. But also you need to embrace that maybe you need to go to a higher force to find the answers. Maybe you need to gain some guidance or something like that. And finally, if you need support, where can you go? Oh my God, did I say a baby in the womb? How does that work? How did that come out there? The Hanged one. This is the Hanged Man. Now, of the baby in the womb, it's really funny that I should say that and then that card comes out because it's a baby in the womb. I don't know how that happened. Sometimes as a tarot reader, that kind of freaky stuff just happens on the cards. Because I just said you're just a baby in the womb, didn't I, with the star? And I didn't know what was below here. And it's come out with the Hanged one. You need to go to the Hanged Man if you need support. Okay? So the Hanged Man is a slow-moving process. So you need to go to somebody who can look at the situation from another perspective. Even though it doesn't necessarily show it on this one. On this particular version of the Hanged one, because often the Hanged Man can be a baby that's, you know, it can be birth, can be rebirth, but a slow process to something new beginning. But just as a card alone, just the name, go to someone who can take a step back and review the situation for what it is, okay? But this is somebody who can look at the situation maybe from a slightly different angle. Because some of you guys, Virgo, might be looking at the situation from a tunneled vision. And that's where you're getting kind of very confused. And that's why you're kind of like, well, I don't really know what to do with it. Because you're only looking and thinking in one way. Maybe you need to get an idea from somebody else on what you need to do with this particular resource. All right, I'm going to pan down the camera on the cards and we're going to quickly go through the reading and then we're going to do your work and then we're going to do your love reading. Bear with me. Okay, Virgo, so this is the layout that we're looking at. So you guys are the, let me get a pointer pen. You're showing us the Page of Coins. You know, I see you guys as, I don't think that you're skeptical, but I definitely feel that with this Page of Coins showing on here, you're very kind of inquisitive and probably very confused with this Page of Coins energy on what you do with a particular resource that you have. All right, what I'm seeing, because you're showing us the Page of Coins, so you're showing us somebody who's probably a little bit naive, a little bit green about a situation. You're not certain how to use a resource or how to do something with something that you have. This could be, say for example, you have a small amount of money and you say, okay, what can I use my small amount of money for? That might be one thing. You might be kind of trying to figure out what you use a small amount of money for, that type of thing, okay? It can factor out in all sorts of ways for you, and I always try and leave the readings open to interpretation as well. Because the theme of the week is the Magician. You've got the power, the skills, and the abilities, you know, to create, to bring into physical form. But this is already in physical form. So to build on and to grow whatever this pentacle is that you have in your hand. And you do have that skill and that ability to do that. Your goal by the end of the week might be to finally kind of weigh up and bring into some balance what you're going to do with that. So finally making a firm decision on what you do with this energy here, the Page of Coins. You need to avoid, the obstacle you need to avoid, the obstacle you need to overcome is possibly being too harsh on yourself with the Ace of Wands or allowing other people to force you to make decisions before you're ready. If this is other people, then what you could be accomplishing by the end of the week with the Five of Wands is standing your ground and saying, I'm not going to make any decisions on what I use with this resource until I'm good and ready to do it. Okay. You need to avoid the Two of Coins, though. It's like your goal is the Two of Coins, but it says that you need to avoid the Two of Coins. It's interesting because the Two of Coins is, this is what you want to do, but this is kind of where you need to avoid. I think really with this Two of Coins, it's kind of trying to, it could be maybe juggling too many ideas with the Two of Coins energy. It could be maybe spending too long trying to make up your mind what you do with this energy here. Okay, because you need to embrace the Star. Maybe you need to embrace that you already have the clarity. Maybe the idea, or maybe what you do with this coin that you have in your hands, Virgo, maybe the idea is right in front of your face. Maybe you need to embrace that. But also I feel that you need to embrace, with this Star energy, your own vulnerability as well. You are a baby in arms and you've just come into whatever this thing is. Some of you guys, you've just come into this. So how are you meant to know what to use it for or how to use it? So really this is just about being kind with yourself. Also, if you need guidance, get advice with the Star energy. Get somebody who can shine a light on exactly what you can use this for. If you need support and advice, go to the Hanged one. Okay, it's interesting because I'm just going to have a look actually in my Ancestral Tarot. Ancestral Path Tarot, this booklet on that, because I've never seen a Hanged Man like this, and my interpretation of this as the Hanged Man is usually about birth, pregnancy, because the Hanged Man, believe it or not, can also be a pregnancy card, and it can show a slow birth or a slow rebirth coming along, that type of thing. And it was funny when I said baby in the womb, and that was it. That came out next, which was really interesting. We're going to have a look at their explanation of the Hanged Man. Let's have a quick look. So, the Hanged Man, transition, a period of rest between significant events, a time when action is inadvisable. Surrender to inevitable circumstances, involuntary sacrifice, descent to the depths of the self, altered perceptions by examining things from a different upside down viewpoint. Well, there you go. That's the explanation. You need to go to someone who can give you a different perspective on this, who can examine this, because I think that you're too close to the situation, and I think that maybe some people around you are far too close to the situation as well. Okay, so you just need to go to someone who can give you a fresh perspective on all of this stuff, which is what the explanation is. We were looking for that particular Hanged Man card. Okay, we're going to get the angel cards and have a look at what the advice is from the angels, Virgo, concerning this reading. Okay, Universe Spirit, what is the advice you have for Virgo on this reading? What's the advice that you have for Virgo? Show me. Okay, your advice, Virgo, is that within the next few months, let's have a look, there will be abundance. Okay, so within the next few months, you're going to have abundance. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's it. When the cards become confusing, I stop reading. So within the next few months, you're going to have abundance. Okay, we're going to get your next reading, which is work. Please bear with me. Okay, Virgo, so we've got your work reading. Sorry if the screen looks slightly lopsided. I try my best with this camera to get it not to look lopsided. It must be something with the way that I do the actual, you know, locking in the camera onto the tripod. It's very annoying when I see on the screen that my cards look lopsided like this. Let me just try and switch it around just a little bit. I think that looks a bit better there. Right, let's have a look for work and what's going on around the work situation. 9 of Wands on the last legs. You're nearing completion. In terms of work, the 9 of Wands often means that we've come to a place where we're kind of like, you know what, I'm holding in there, but I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do that for. So some of you guys are nearing completing something within work. 9 of Wands energy, the 4 of Coins, but I think that you choose to stay with the 4 of Coins. Both cards with the 4 of Coins and the 9 of Wands can mean when you get them in a work reading, you choose to stay at your post. Even though I think that some of you guys are really tired and you're really at the end of your tether within your jobs, Virgo, I think that you choose to stay for the money, for the security, with the 4 of Coins energy showing there. You're resisting new opportunities, because the 4 of Coins is typically a resistance card. It's a rejection card. You're rejecting new opportunities. You're tired, but still you reject new opportunities. I think some of you guys are fed up within your jobs, Virgo, and even though you're tired, you seem to reject new opportunities showing there. And I think it's putting a lot of pressure on you with the 10 of Wands. I think it's really starting to get you down with that 10. Okay, I think the work is really starting to become a chore, a real chore, because the 10 of Wands is a lot of pressure. Okay, you seem to reject new opportunities coming in, though the work is very heavy and very burdensome that you do. And I think you're getting really tired of it, Virgo. Justice energy here. So decisions to be made with the justice energy showing up here. I think if you make a positive decision with the justice energy, you can be really happy with this 9 of Cups energy. I think if you make a really positive, happy, if you make a really good decision, just an absolute decision that you're going to go for some new opportunities here. Because you seem to be rejecting all new opportunities. You moan about your job more than like with the 9 of Wands, and you're kind of like, this is really tiring and I'm fed up of doing this. But still you won't leave it, probably because of the money. And you seem to reject new opportunities to come in, despite feeling really pressured within the job that you do. You know, but if you make a really important decision with the justice energy, you'll find that what this is going to bring, it's going to bring you a lot of happiness. Because if you make a decision, the justice will give you the payoff, and the payoff will be lots of happiness with that 9 of Cups energy showing there. There you go, and the Star. Lots of happiness and dreams coming true. If you can only make that decision, you'll find that there'll be a payoff here. You really will. Let's have a look. The Devil. Okay, so the Devil in a work reading means to be stuck. as well, but there's healing from the devil as well, because the star is the healing card and the devil card is kind of chains and depression and blockages and limitation. So healing's from this, from the devil energy. Yeah, there you go, in the sun. All right, 2 cards indicating healing are flanking that devil, showing here. Okay, so I actually feel that this is, I almost feel like the universe is giving you advice here, Virgo, that some of you guys are really tired of the job that you're in, the 9 of Wands. You're literally on your last legs with that 9 of Wands energy showing there, Virgo. All right, I really feel that you're so tired of it. And I feel that with the 4 of Coins, though you're tired, you do choose to stay. And you reject new opportunities coming in. Though you're struggling with the work. Okay? And I also feel that you're fearing with this devil energy taking new opportunities, just in case you have to struggle in the outside world, if you do. But the universe, I think, is saying, well, look, if you just make a really positive decision, it's going to pay off. You're going to have lots of happiness showing with the 9 of Cups, lots of satisfaction in a new job. There's going to be healing off this devil energy, because I feel that some of you guys, the reason why you're so burdened in work is because of the devil. So this could be because of a nasty boss or an over kind of burdensome boss putting a lot of work on you. It could also mean that you don't have a good work and life balance with the devil energy. You're a slave to the grind. And that's why there's a lot of pressure here. But this can be overcome with the sun energy. It really, really can. As long as you just make that positive decision to free yourself from the burdens of this particular work, and possibly even people around you. It's just going to take a decision, right? All you do is you just make that decision. You say, actually, yeah, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move to something new because I can't be bothered with the pressure that I'm taking here. I think some of you guys are really under a lot of pressure in the jobs that you do. And I think it's really important just to make that definitive decision and say, actually, I think it's time to go. I think it's time to move on. Let's have a quick look at your love reading. Bear with me. Okay, Virgo, this is your love reading. I'm just going to change up this a little bit because this is beginning to annoy me. Sorry, I have a thing about... I think that looks a bit better. I've just got to think about screens that looks lopsided. It's one of my pet's hates. I really hate it. I like the cards to look straight on the screen. Okay, so let's have a look at love for you then, Virgo. Let's have a look. So what we got here, we've got the Knight of Wands. I'm not a fan of the Knight of Wands in love, but this is somebody who can be driven by passion. Usually, when you look at a Knight of Wands or a Knight of Swords, the card behind should tell you what's influencing that card in front. So Knight of Wands can be an arrival of someone, sudden arrival, for example, with the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands can be where you're exiting a relationship or somebody's leaving a relationship with the Knight of Wands energy. No, I feel that you have somebody coming in, and I think that this person is going to bring balance. We've got the Justice energy showing here, because Justice is all about balance and it's about your soulmate. So it's almost like there are rivals showing up here with the Knight of Wands energy. And then you've got the soulmate card of the Justice energy, Karma, Justice energy, your karmic partner with the Justice energy showing there. Yeah, definitely a karmic partner. You've got the Justice and the King of Cups. There's an arrival of a karmic partner, I think, here for some of you guys, because I see Justice as being the karmic card, and with such a card, any man or female showing up in the upright is good as far as I'm concerned. Doesn't matter what they are. So I'm seeing the arrival of a karmic partner for some of you guys coming in here. They're already arrived for some of you Virgos, or they're coming in the next few weeks. Let's have a look here. You've got a Knight of Swords as well there, but 2 Knights in a reading can show conflict as well. I do get the arrival of a and it's interesting because we've got this. I don't see anything legal here as such. It's not like this is reversed or anything. I just don't think that there's anything bad in those energy, but I am seeing some conflict here. 2 Knights in a reading can indicate, I think it's incidental conflicts. Okay, I do feel that there is a karmic partner showing up here for some of you guys, but there's some conflict that you're in with this individual, with that Knight of Wands, the Knight of Swords, 2 Knights in the reading showing up here. I think this is somebody from the past. Okay, so this is somebody who you've got a karmic tie to the past with. Okay, so Justice and the King of Cups, Justice and the 6 of Cups is a karmic tie. Okay, this is a tie with somebody from the past, and this is the person here, but there's some conflict with this individual. Five of Swords energy showing here. So this is the manipulator of the tarot, the Five of Swords. This is the manipulator and the abusive individual showing up here with the Five of Swords. You got 2 5s. So yes, there is definitely conflict in this. There's a karmic partner, somebody who you've got a karmic tie to the past with. This is a soulmate, possibly even a twin flame. I'm seeing conflicts, incidental conflicts going on here. And I'm seeing conflicts. You've got 2 5s as well, which show challenges. Okay, I feel that there is possibly manipulation or somebody's taking advantage in the relationship with this Five of Swords. I think with the Five of Wands, it's probably causing a great deal of confusion and anxiety. Okay, I actually feel that this person isn't always around, Virgo, and I think that that's why their abuse of this relationship seems to be causing a lot of, with this Five of Wands energy, anxiety, especially probably within you, Virgo. Okay. 7 of Coins. I think that, this 7 of Coins shows getting rewarded, but I feel just reading generally the card, this is all about some of you guys. I think you're taking a step back to review the situation with that 7 of Coins energy. Possibly taking a step back to review, and you are definitely soulmates, because I've got Queen of Cups and King of Cups in the reading. So anyone that should kind of shared a suit, except for probably the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. They're more like sister and brother, but Queen of Wands, King of Wands work as a match. King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles definitely a match, soulmate. And so is the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Some of you guys might be taking a step back to review whether you want to open your heart to this individual, maybe with that Queen of Cups energy. The High Priestess energy showing up here as well. So the High Priestess is all about detachment, but this is also a psychic connection. Maybe some of you guys taking a step back to review whether you've got this psychic connection going on with this individual. Because I feel these two together are more about the psychic connection. That's why this is your soulmate, the Justice and the King of Cups. I'm seeing the soulmate here. Somebody who you've got a karmic tie to the past with, this Justice and the King of Cups. You Virgos have a karmic tie to the past with this individual. All right, so this is a karmic tie. All right, this is somebody who you've lived a past life with the Justice and the King and the Six of Cups and the King of Cups. Somebody you've lived a past life with, but there's conflict here, which kind of says to me this is probably a twin flame. I think it's a twin flame. I think somebody's been doing a bit of running and you've been doing a bit of chasing, Virgo. That's what I'm getting from this reading. Because there's conflict in the reading and you've got this kind of twin, you've got this this karmic partner, somebody who is connected with the past, the Six of Cups, and there's conflict in there. This is a recipe for me for a twin flame. And plus we've got the conflict here with the Five of Swords, somebody who's taking advantage in the relationship. We've got the classic kind of feeling anxious and confused about things, and somebody who's taking a step back to review whether, you know, this person is a karmic partner, whether this person is spiritually and emotionally connected to you. I think you're starting to review whether this is truly your karmic partner, whether this is truly your soulmate. I think some of you guys are taking a step back to review that, because I actually feel that Virgo, and it would make sense that you would do that because you're a very practical sign. My mum was a Virgo and she always tried to look at things in a more realistic fashion. For you, it's a case of, well, if this person's meant to be my soulmate, why are they doing this? And why are they leaving me with this? Because this person is doing this. They're manipulative. They're taking the piss. You know, there's sometimes being abusive, and often more than anything, they're abandoning you, because the Five of Swords shows somebody who's cutting another individual out. So the themes of abandonment go with the Five of Swords. So this person's cut you out quite a bit, and it's leaving you confused because you're like, hang on a minute, are we not karmic partners? Do we not have a past life connection? You know, do we not have this spiritual and emotional connection with each other? We see each other in dreams. We do that type of thing with the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups sitting here. So why, oh why, if we have that, is there conflict within this relationship? Why, oh why, if we have that, does this person do this to me? Do they hurt me? Because the Five of Swords mean to feel hurt. Why, oh why, does this person hurt me and make me feel anxious and depressed? And some of you guys, because of that, are starting to review. I don't know whether this person is my karmic partner, is my soulmate, sorry, and is the person who I have this kind of psychic connection to. I think that some of you guys are starting to review that because of another person's actions going on this week. Let's have a quick look at your advice for love. What's the advice for your love you have in this reading for Virgo? What's the advice for love for Virgo on this reading? The advice is new love. It says a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So this person could be new then, okay? Any other advice for love you have for Virgo on this reading or anything else? It says let go of control issues and allow this situation to unfold naturally. Fair enough. So maybe you're overthinking something here. If this, especially if this is a new relationship, just give it time to evolve, Virgo, okay? You're getting a little bit too like, oh man, I need to know where they are or what's going on with them. Let's have a look at work and money. What's the advice you have for work and money? Whoopsie daisy, everything's falling out of my hands. What's the advice you have for work and money for Virgo in this reading? What's the advice you have for work and money for Virgo in this reading? The advice is pay yourself first. So make yourself your most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you'll have savings to invest in your present and your future. And finally, let's just have a quick look at the 3-card reading for the week from the answer the deck. What's the 3-card reading? What's the advice you have for Virgo on this 3-card reading for the week? The advice is communication. Okay. Vulnerable. Okay. So it might be that communicating with someone could make you vulnerable. Hang on. But I think that you need to expose your talents. I think that because vulnerability is to show your vulnerability. It's when you're naked, basically, is your vulnerability. So that's to show and expose. So I feel that you need to communicate here this week and expose your talents. I think you really need to show your talents. I think you really need to show who you are this week and show what talents and gifts you have, Virgo. Okay? That is your reading for the week. If you'd like a private reading with me, you can go to the link in the comment section or the description bar. And there's also, I think it's the end screen, there's a link there as well. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.